welcome back to another episode of Psychopedia. I am your co-host, Tank Sinatra, here with my co-host,
Investigator Slater.
And a special guest in studio. This is a very special episode, just on many facets. The special guest is not Cash, your dog. It is Jerry Seinfeld's favorite comedian, host of We Might Be Drunk podcast, Mark Norman.
Hey, good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Our first guest on the episode.
Whoa.
We really set the bar high.
I'm honored.
Is a big fucking get.
I know.
I disagree. I'm very lonely.
Yeah. I would have gone anywhere.
Anywhere.
Mark, just to get this out there, you're currently on a break from a tour, but you are on tour. People can go to marknormancomedy.com to get tickets if they like what they hear during the podcast.
Which
Sing
they
it,
will.
sister.
Correct? They're going to love it. They're going to love it. I am so fucking excited here. Mark, huge comedian, favorite of 12 million views on YouTube, part of the Protect Our Parks crew on Joe Rogan. But he's such a nice guy, very generous with his time. He came and did Think Tank, my podcast, 5 years ago when, I don't know what you were doing or thinking back then. Do you remember that?
Nobody saw that one.
Nobody saw that one. That was my most viewed episode of that podcast, and it had like 6,000 views. At the time, I was beyond pumped to have that many views.
I was happy to do it. You're huge on the socials. So,
Instagram.
Yeah, so I was excited about it.
Yeah, but you're getting there, dude. You're pushing 1 million, and I hope by the end of this episode, we can get you to that 1M.
I'm not huge anywhere, so thanks for being here, both of you.
Well, you're huge by association.
You're big on OnlyFans. I don't know if you knew that, but I'm a member.
There's an AI-generated version of you out there.
Yeah, I love it.
Killing it. Great feet.
So basically, her toes are. It's really the upper arch that sells it.
Are you a foot guy?
No, I'm not a foot guy.
Okay.
I'm not. Are you a foot guy?
No, I wish, because women wear sandals all day. It's like free porn.
There would be so much more to life if you were a foot guy, right? Yeah, especially in the summer.
Oh, the beach, flip-flops, forget about it.
Can you imagine, just not to get off track too fast, but just being a super crazy foot guy and not being able to go anywhere because you're just turned on all the time by all the toes out there?
Sounds kind of nice.
It's got to be a tough existence for a real foot freak, though.
Well, I like tits, but if you see tits, it's like, it's so rare.
It's a pride parade.
Yeah, exactly. it's the best day of my life.
So, Mark, you're a true crime guy to some extent, but not to the extent that our listeners are. And you and I are on the same side of the room for that reason, because I'm not, just to get you up to speed, I'm not a huge true crime fan, but I'm getting more into it as we do the podcast. She has done a great job of selling me on it. But the reason we started this is because she's like psychotic about psychos.
Yep.
In the best way possible.
Thank you.
She tells the story in such a way that I'm able to listen and care, but I can't help but derail it during the episode. And that's what you're here to do as well. Just comedic, timing, whatever. You jump in, I'll jump in. She will read right through it. If it's not funny, which she's done to me before, she's cut me off. She screamed at me.
Okay.
Told me she was going to kill me yesterday, which I know.
You're lucky to be alive.
But my wife is a huge true crime nut, and I hear a lot of it because of her. I just find it so fascinating that we get offended by comedy, but this is real.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is like, I fucked her corpse, I killed a child before I raped it, then I killed
cut
it.
a chicken's head off and put it on the tip of my penis.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm joking. This is actually real, It's fascinating, the world we live in.
Well, that's just it. It's fascinating.
It is.
It's real. These are real people doing real things,
which
is why I don't love when people refer to perpetrators as monsters, because it lets them off easy. And then it kind of like desensitizes the world to the fact that these are actual human beings doing deplorable things.
Yeah.
But it's fascinating.
It is fascinating.
And it's arguably within all of us, that capability. And why does it rise to the surface with some and not for others? And
if I had a different childhood,
there's reasons for
why. If I had a different
childhood,
I would 100% be a serial killer. That's why I don't watch a ton of serial killer documentaries, because I find myself like relating almost to the killers. I'm like, hey, I don't have a great relationship with my mom either.
Yeah.
Am I going to snap?
You got mommy issues.
Comedian and serial killer are right for parallel, and we're both big on Netflix.
Huge. Keeping Netflix in the black.
They're running this way for a while, then they break, but it's a lot of similarities. Weird childhood, trauma, bedwetting.
Well, I'm glad you're a guest instead of the focus of one of the cases.
Good point.
All right. So with that said, Rate, review, subscribe, iTunes, Spotify. It really helps us out. We're trying to crack the top 1. So it's
Top 1.
a mystery, but from what I understand, that has something to do with it. So listen, share, rate, review, subscribe, email us, find us on Instagram at Psychopedia Pod. And without further, Gerard Depardieu.
Nicely done.
Get to the case.
You got fancy with it.
I did. I got French.
My father, the hero.
Gentlemen, are you ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. On July 2nd, 2005,
That was
at
fucking
5.
yesterday. No, that's today.
Whoa.
Oh, my God.
Hey now.
Wow. You're on it already.
Oh, yeah.
A
Good call.
45-year-old man in Washington state frantically informed his friend that he needed medical attention right away. The man was suffering extreme abdominal pain, and his lips had begun to change color in the back of his friend's car. By the time they arrived at the hospital, his pulse was no longer detectable. Tragically, he was declared dead upon arrival. The official cause of death was determined to be acute peritonitis caused by a perforated sigmoid colon. In layman's terms, his colon ruptured, which caused all of the contents inside of it to leak out into his abdomen, resulting in a fatal infection that ultimately claimed his life.
Can't wait to find out how his colon ruptured.
Yeah. Well, it's I can almost promise you that you have no fucking clue how his colon ruptured.
All right, we got a twist, an M. Night Shyamalan.
And it's not it's not a common injury. Those who suffer from it actually face a 70% mortality rate. So when this gentleman entered the hospital with this injury, the ER doctors felt that it was a suspicious death, and they notified the police, and it prompted an investigation. And the outlandish revelation made by law enforcement regarding the cause of this fatal injury to his colon was truly jaw-dropping.
And she knows how to tell a story. I need to know now what's happening.
It ultimately held significant legal implications for the state of Washington. All right. So what caused the decedent to suffer such a rare and fatal injury to his colon? Pop quiz.
Fuck. Pop quiz.
So, Mark, here is where I quiz you.
Bring
I
it
give you some
on.
options, and you guys go ahead and pick which one you think is right.
Should we convene and try and land on an answer, or do you want to just...
I mean,
maybe we'll
let
go
the
separate.
spirit move you.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right. So what caused the fatal injury? A, an enema he received that was poisoned with hydrochloric acid. B, a spiked gag ball that tore through the man's digestive tract after he inadvertently swallowed it.
Oh.
Ooh.
Or C, a colossal erect penis that penetrated the man's anus and quite literally ripped him a new one.
Wow. Well, the third would be flattering
Yeah.
for whatever guy that is. But I'm going to go with the gag ball.
You're going to go gag ball?
So specific. It feels like it's got to be real.
I'm going to recuse myself from this pop quiz
Okay.
because I know what it is,
Oh.
because we kind of talked about potential cases for him because we wanted to bring you a fucking good one.
A
This is
doozy,
great.
if you will.
So I know that it's whatever
Okay.
it is. But gag ball,
All right,
we'll go
so
with
you're
the gag
going
ball.
with the gag ball?
Yeah.
The individual, let me give you the answer first. The answer is C.
Whoa.
A colossal erect penis.
A huge dong.
Huge.
You should have
Fuck
saved
to-
this for Pride Month. Where it's over.
Fuck to death.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So was it the driver?
It was not the driver.
Because if it was, you got to kind of go, hey,
it's even
high
more
five.
suspicious.
Yeah.
I'll take you to the hospital. It's the least I can do.
It wasn't the driver, but the individual responsible for forcefully penetrating the victim's anus with his Herculean-sized penis,
Wow.
resulting in a perforated colon, was a total beast in stature with an extraordinarily muscular physique. Was not Tank either, by the way.
Not that guy.
And while he ended up killing his partner, the perpetrator had no malicious intent towards his victim because the perpetrator of today's case was a horse.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I went
Just
there.
a regular Saturday night for Mark.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Jeez. Woo. Anyone else hard? Oh, my Lord. Wow.
Herculean dong. Got him.
Yeah.
Today, we are delving into the highly disturbing and legally significant case of the Enumclaw horse sex ring. And we're going to explore the untimely...
Wait, hold on. The engineer just goes, what?
So we're going to explore the untimely demise of the aforementioned unidentified man, who was later revealed to be a man named Kenneth Pinion, also known as Mr. Hands. Brace yourselves, boys,
Him
as
and
we
Mr.
dive
Ed.
deep into the intriguing and unsettling realm of an ordinary seeming individual with an extraordinary sexual appetite that ultimately proved fatal.
So it's the Enumclaw
Yes.
horse sex ring.
Yes.
So there's multiple people or parties involved in this.
Yes. I'm afraid so.
I mean, you've seen a horse dong.
Yeah.
I would never think, even if I liked things in the pooper, I would never think to put that in there. It's
Wow.
huge.
That's why you're on the couch and not in her computer right now being read off.
I guess so.
Yeah.
True. So
That's what we're saying. Like, this is all, yes, most people have their thing sexually, freaky fetishes, whatever, but they take it so far. This guy would not be satisfied until he got fucked to death by a horse.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was his thing.
And we always say that on Psychopedia, if somebody lands a feature on Psychopedia, they're an outlier. So this isn't like a typical type of thing you would see.
Sure.
Although it's not as uncommon as you might expect, which we will get onto here.
Wow.
Disturbing.
Yeah.
I didn't know true crime counted bestiality.
Oh,
depends on how the
when
horse
someone
got there.
dies and it's a little bit suspicious,
And there's a ring.
and you have
Oh, yeah.
Investigator Slater on it, we're going there.
Okay.
All right,
well,
so giddy up.
Take the reins.
Giddy
All
up.
right. Giddy up.
Kenneth Pinion entered the world on June 22nd, 1960, as the son of Margaret and Douglas Pinion. There were no remarkable incidents in his childhood that I discovered, and he seemed to have a stable and uneventful childhood.
Stable. Hey now.
Hey. Okay.
He tied the knot with his future ex-wife, Andrea Robert, in 1981,
Ah.
but their marriage ended in divorce on September 17th, 2001. So it's a little bit of a backstory into this guy's life.
I'm not going to fuck you with a horse strap on. It's not going to work out.
Professionally, Kenneth worked as an engineer for Boeing Aircraft from 1997 to 2005 while residing in Gig Harbor, Washington. During this time, Kenneth had embarked upon a new home construction project along the Key Peninsula Highway that was to include a barn in which he planned to keep a horse.
Oh.
However,
Thickens.
Kenneth's construction plans were put on hold following a life-altering motorcycle accident that had unexpectedly caused him to lose sensation in his sexy parts.
Oh, okay.
right. He probably had a spinal cord injury or something that intercepted the sensory neurons from firing off.
Yeah.
But the exact injury actually is not like very public.
Mhm.
Okay. So while the initial injury of the motorcycle accident did not result in immediate fatality, it triggered Kenneth to make a series of questionable decisions, to say the least, in pursuit of regaining those sweet, sweet, sexy feelings
Got it.
that he could no longer experience by like a touch or a yank or a normal fuck.
Or a regular dick.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, in the butt.
So it was those decisions that ultimately proved to be fatal.
Oh.
The progression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
But seriously, like losing the ability to experience sexual pleasure is undeniably a profoundly devastating situation to find yourself in.
Sure.
Yeah, I had
Talking to
COVID
two
for,
men,
for
so I
2
feel
years.
like-
I couldn't taste anything. It was
Taste.
really upsetting. Couldn't smell.
Yeah.
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 Imagine if that was your asshole.
The innate urge to reproduce shapes the existence of most species, including humans, and the accompanying rewards of engaging in the primal act of procreation are a fucking fantastic part of life for many people, right?
Yeah.
Sexual activity, particularly during orgasm, triggers the release of oxytocin, commonly referred to as the feel-good hormone, responsible for feelings of well-being and happiness.
And bonding.
And
Yeah.
bonding,
Yeah.
correct, right. So there was a study done in January of this year by an organization called Tracking Happiness, which, like the name suggests, is a group with a mission to help people understand and achieve personal happiness, all right? And the name of the study that they conducted in January was, What Does Happiness Mean to You? And in this study, participants were asked to choose 5 words that they felt most associated with the word happiness, since there really is no universally agreed upon definition. All right, so they gave a list of words, including laughter, joy, pleasure, purpose in life, love, relationships, wealth, family, and many others, and of course, sex. Pop quiz. Amongst the 1,155 participants in the study, where did sex rank on the list?
Survey says.
Hmm.
A, first on the list by a long shot. B, third on the list behind love and family. C, second to last.
Oh, 1,000 people they asked? 15, whatever it is?
1,100 about.
I'm going to say I think it's probably B.
What was B?
Third on the list behind love and family.
What if you're into your family sexually?
Then it would be number one by
Yeah,
a
I
long
guess
shot.
So, yeah. I'm going to go number one.
First on the list by a long shot?
Yeah.
You are both wrong.
Shit.
Yeah.
Second to last on the list?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Second to last, chosen by only 15% of the participants in the study.
Oh,
What a
wow.
what a bunch of virgins.
Yeah.
Unsurprisingly, the men in the study were 250% more likely to associate sex with happiness than the women.
Unsurprisingly.
Hey, sounds like my wife.
You guys are dirty bastards, all of you.
Oh, yeah.
But the main finding of the study indicates that the individuals who identify as being happy are 59% more likely to link sex with happiness compared to those who identify with being unhappy. So you see that according to the study, there is a correlation between sex and happiness.
Yeah.
Here, here.
All right. So in an attempt to restore his sexual sensations and consequently find happiness, Kenneth started experimenting with large dildos, fisting, and other high-intensity sexual acts, including receptive anal sex with stallions.
Wait, high-intensity sexual
Does it get
like he's
more
in the gym, like he's working out.
Yeah.
Wait, so hold on. Say the last sentence one more time. High-intensity sexual acts and...
including large dildos, fisting, and other high-intensity sexual acts, including receptive anal sex with stallions.
Wow.
So hold on a second.
I
This
know about
guy...
fisting.
pres-
Sorry.
So that's what the bandage is
Yeah,
about?
that's it.
Okay.
I know Kenneth.
presumably was straight, right? Because he was married.
Presumably,
good point.
yes.
But then because he can't feel his wiener, he goes around back and starts trying to experiment over there. Is that
Yeah,
what's happening?
That's exactly what's
Exactly
happening.
right.
Wow.
Now, was it a black stallion? Because now we're interracial.
Yeah.
Just curious.
So I do
Like
have another
Kenneth.
pop quiz for you guys.
All right.
What term describes the feelings of sexual arousal or sexual preference for non-human animals?
Oh.
Is it A, bestiality, B, zoophilia,
Oh.
C, furrophilia?
Ah. I'm going to go A.
Bestiality.
Yeah.
I'm going B.
Zoophilia?
Zoophilia.
You got it right. I get very proud of him when he gets it right.
Wow.
'cause
I
it's
get him
very
wrong all the
rare.
time.
I've never heard of zoophilia.
Yes.
Well, bestiality is the act.
Very good. Why do you know so
Oh.
much about this?
I just know about language.
I love when the engineer laughs.
I don't.
Not when we
Not
got
at
you.
that. No,
So-
zoophilia obviously is like the concept of the thing, and the bestiality is the act,
Absolutely.
the carried out
right.
act. of it.
Absolutely.
And
right.
furphilia is your thing.
Oh, wow.
What is that? When you hate people in fur coats?
No, she wears a
No.
lot of fur.
I wear a lot
okay.
of fur. We went out to dinner last night as couples, my husband and I, and Tank and his wife, and he just dropped this bomb during dinner that he
I
does
didn't.
not like when I wear faux fur, which I happen to do a lot.
I said, what are we going to wear tomorrow?
Meaning today, here at the
Today.
recording.
And she said, I have a big white thing that goes across both shoulders. It's 8 inches high, envelops my head. And I said, please don't wear that.
I mean, his loss.
No, I'm kidding. I did mention the fact that I'm not a huge fan of just fluffy clothes in general.
Mm.
But she came dressed like she was going to a Rocksteady reunion, so it worked out okay.
This is how I dress, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Take it or leave it. All right. So zoophilia, as Tank has said, is the term used to describe those who experience an attraction or sexual preference for animals. But it's important to note, and you may not know this, or maybe you do, since you seem to be an expert on this,
Mhm.
scarily enough. Zoophilia encompasses not just a physical attraction, but also an emotional one.
Well, I have that, which you do also. I know you're in love with your dog.
I'm in love with him, but I don't want to get busy with him.
No, but you have one half of zoophilia for sure.
No. When I say an emotional connection, it's more like the type you have with a spouse or a significant other.
Like Team Jacob in Twilight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was Team Edward for the record.
When
but-
he imprint, I'm Team Jacob all day.
Oh, fuck off.
I don't
man.
know.
Fuck
He imprints
off.
on who does he imprint on? Or so her
Which
daughter.
one? The wolf?
Bella's
Bella's kid,
imprints-
Renesmee.
Yeah,
All right.
it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't help who you fucking imprint on.
No,
Yeah.
but
Well, my boner's gone. All the Twilight talk. But can I just say this about zoophilia or whatever, which is a woman I dated in the Bronx. But it's got to be great to be attracted to animals because there's so many options. There's like zoo, petting zoo. You can pet a dog, touch a cat. If you get caught looking at kitty porn, you go to jail. If you get caught looking at kittens, you're sweet.
Yeah.
Fair point.
You know?
Maybe that's why kittens made the internet so big in the beginning.
Oh,
Maybe.
gross.
It was all those zoophiles
Right.
pumping up those numbers
Could
on
be.
icanhascheeseburger.com.
And then is it weirder to be into kittens than it is to be cats? Because that's kind of pedophilia.
Pedophilia with a T.
Yes.
Nice.
I am a pedophile, but not. Oh, please don't take that out of context for the love of
Clip
God.
Definitely
it.
sound
Clip it.
bites.
Yeah.
Definitely.
PETO file. Like I like petting dogs.
Same.
Yeah,
Love petting a
exactly.
dog.
But zoophiles, which are the people who are into zoophilia, they're into like a relationship versus a hookup. Like
Oh,
it's
okay.
sentimental,
They're
man.
not looking for a one night stand with Rover. Yeah.
No, they want to like sink their
See where things
teeth in,
go.
so to speak.
Got it.
Right? A study of self-identified zoophiles found that some are attracted to the unique appearance and odor of animal genitalia.
Whoa.
You lost me.
And
Man.
others are actually attracted to the taboo nature of the behavior, and others are just attracted to the being itself.
Yikes.
So pick your poison there. So we know from past cases that we've covered on this podcast, Tank especially, paraphilias are understood to be escalated fetishes that lead to an adverse consequence in the life of the person who has the paraphilia. Fetishes are fine and normal. You have a shoe fetish, fine. It's not dictating your life. You're not getting harmed in the process of like exploring that fetish. A paraphilia is heightened.
Gotcha.
All right. And even within the realm of paraphilias, there's a range. Like in the case we did the feed me, fuck me, kill me
Yeah.
episode. Do you remember what the name of the paraphilia was that Sharon Lopatka had?
No, but we did a case, feed me, fuck me, kill me, on this woman who wanted someone to feed her to death, essentially. Just stuff her
Whoa.
fat, just
And then
make her obese
cannibalize her.
and then eat her.
Whoa.
I don't remember what it was called.
Even more sort of astounding than that, if you can get more astounding than that, she just wanted to be killed. That was her sexual fetish. So it's called autoassassinophilia.
Autoassassinophilia, that's right. Which
Holy-
that was one of the pop quizzes I got right too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
auto, which means I, and then assassinophilia, like assassinate myself. And she went through with it. She actually found somebody
Whoa.
that killed her.
By feeding her.
It was not the feeding aspect.
No, that was the first.
that was-
That was one of the things she did. Then she moved on. She was like, if no one's going to feed me to death, just fucking kill me.
Right.
I want to
Holy
find someone to
shit.
kill me.
Is this what happened to Kirstie Alley? All right.
No.
Okay. R.I.P.
By the way, Tank, do you remember what fornophilia is from that episode?
Die while fucking?
No.
Because fornication?
No, but that's good. I see what you
right.
did there.
I
No.
don't remember now.
It's the fetish of turning a human being into a piece of furniture.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's about sexual objectification. Ooh, baby.
Sit on me.
Yeah.
So individuals who have zoophilia are commonly referred to as zoophiles or zoos for short, and they are not to be confused with people who engage in bestiality. So
Oh, really?
Correct. Bestiality is the performance of the sexual act between a human and an animal. So an individual can be a zoophile without engaging in bestiality if the line is drawn between fantasy and reality.
Oh.
So having sex with an animal and wanting to have sex with an animal are not necessarily the same thing. Bestiality is the act. Zoophilia is the mindset.
Okay.
All right?
it.
We don't
Yeah.
do that with pedophilia, though.
We do not. There's
Interesting.
just nothing okay with pedophilia.
Gotcha.
No, I think we do. Because if you're a pedophile and you don't ever act on it, you don't look at kitty porn, you don't touch any
Oh,
kids.
well, yeah. If you're a closet anything, nobody knows about it.
Yeah.
What can you do about it?
Yeah.
Right.
Right?
You don't know.
So the practice of having sex with an animal is as ancient as it gets. Evidence of this can be seen in a 25,000-year-old bone rod carving depicting a lioness licking the opening of either a large penis or a vagina. Another early depiction of bestiality is found in a cave painting from the 7th century BC in Italy, showing a man having sex with a donkey.
Italy's into that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
It's very
are they?
close to Greece.
Roman
Ride that
women,
Pony. Sorry.
Roman women were known to have kept snakes that were trained to coil around their thighs and slide past the lips of their vulva. I don't know why I'm doing this gross thing with my hands. Sorry.
You're really painting a vivid picture there.
So we see bestiality pop up in ancient Greek mythology, as one of you just suggested. In ancient Egypt, right? We see it in hieroglyphics. And we see it in ancient China, where men were said to have been having sex with geese. And just before orgasm, they would break the goose's neck, causing the sphincter to constrict and spasm and clamp down on their penises right before climax.
That's how they make foie gras.
Yeah, that's how we got COVID.
So ancient bestiality was prevalent enough to have been specifically mentioned in the Bible, which did threaten death as punishment for those who were caught. So they weren't like pro-bestiality, but that's how far back it goes.
The point is it's mentioned.
Correct.
Yeah.
Got it.
It's been around. Because of the lack of research on the subject in modern times, it's difficult to definitively conclude just how prevalent bestiality is, and estimates vary. But the research tends to suggest, and I was surprised by this, that 8% of men and 3.6% of women have engaged in bestiality.
Whoa.
And 2% of the population have experienced zoophilia. That's not like insignificant.
No, that's something.
Wait, the percentage of people that have done it is higher than the percentage of people that think about it? No.
It's different.
Yeah.
Those who have the emotional attachment.
10 guys, one of them fucked a dog.
Damn.
Oh, God.
8%.
Zoophile internet forums are actually becoming
Don't bring it up on
more
a fully
prevalent.
loaded tour.
So one of the largest forums, and it's growing every day, is a forum called Beast Forum, which claims to have 1.2 million subscribers and even more unregistered participants. So
wow. What about veterinarians?
Oh,
I feel like they could really get down and dirty. We'd have no idea.
I know. They just get, with my dog, they get right up in that butthole.
And
they squeeze those anal glands like it's nothing.
What if that's why they go into it?
Exactly.
I
Like
mean,
priests.
well, I was just going to say that. And I work in the field where I investigate pedophile clergy members.
Not all priests.
Not all priests by any means,
Not all.
but you brought it up, so I'm addressing it. And really, people with those urges tend to place themselves in the situations that will provide them access.
Yeah. Like the morgue guy who wants to fuck dead bodies.
Yeah.
Necrophilia.
There you go.
Yes. So it is important, though, to keep in mind that these statistics are prone to error because there's really a lack of research on zoophilia and bestiality, likely because of the stigma involved, right?
Yeah, I'm not fucking checking that box.
No.
Exactly
Why
right,
would you?
though. That's exactly the reason. Now, getting back to the case of Kenneth Pinion, while he engaged in bestiality, he identified with being a zoophile or a zoo, indicating by definition that he experienced some type of emotional attachment with the horses that he romped around the hay with.
Nice.
According, though, to Charles Mudady, he's the co-writer of a 2007, many time over award-winning documentary about this case called Zoo. Kenneth and his cohorts, which we're going to go on to hear more about, were fixated on monstrous penises versus the actual horses themselves. Okay, so the horse itself was a means to an end.
Got it.
Kenneth actually had a cast created of the penis belonging to his favorite horse.
Good for him.
It's a red flag.
Yeah, not good.
Where do you store it?
With your other sex toys, of course.
Yeah, but it's like
Yeah,
this
so
long.
a bed is much bigger than that, just right underneath. Not that I know.
Yeah. Where do you keep yours is what I'm asking.
What?
Where do you
Where
keep
do
yours?
I keep mine?
Jesus.
I'm not telling. So, like many people with less than common or accepted paraphilias, Kenneth took to the internet to satiate his sexual appetite and to link up with other people who had the same taste in meat as he did.
Wow.
So it was on the internet where Kenneth Pinion met the friend that would wind up driving him to the hospital on the night of his death.
This guy went to the Belmont Stakes. He was like, oh, fuck.
Trifecta. Wow.
So the friend's name was James Michael Tate, all right? James Tate was a 54-year-old truck driver who lived in a trailer on a 40-acre farm located in an unincorporated area in King County, Washington, 5 miles northwest of the city of Enumclaw.
So, like public land. It's not even.
Yeah,
a town.
exactly. It's outside of municipality.
Yeah.
Crucially for James Tate, the farm on which he lived bred Arabian stallions.
Nice.
Yeah, well, Arabian, exactly.
Arabian nice.
Like Arabian gay.
dong.
So Arabian stallions, FYI, are valued for their speed, stamina, beauty, and intelligence.
Which
So,
horses have the biggest
He had good
dicks?
taste.
Yeah.
I could not possibly answer
that didn't come up in your
It
research?
didn't, and I didn't explore it. My bad.
Sure.
Kenneth began to regularly meet up with James as well as a whole other group of zoos in early 2005 to engage in sexual acts with each other, as well as with horses on different farms that they would trespass onto during the night. Studies have found that 83% of men who engage in bestiality do so about 3 times a week.
Wow.
Damn.
So if you're in it, you're in it.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's a lot of
Imagine you're a
funny
farmer
business.
and you wake up and your horse is just trotting around all different one morning and you're like,
What'd
a
you
little
get into
vibrant,
last
yeah.
night? So once the men in this group were amongst their majestic steeds, it was lights, camera, action because they'd film their massive interspecies orgies before posting them online.
wow.
Is that available?
Yeah, it
Okay.
was for a while.
Send me the link.
I shall.
For research purposes.
Yeah. I just want to, I've got so many questions.
Right. So on the night of July 2nd, 2005, Kenneth James and a third unidentified man, snuck onto a local farm in the area as they'd done many times before, with video cameras in hand and one thing on their mind. Now, first, either Kenneth or this third person recorded James being anally penetrated by a stallion. And this particular horse was a crowd favorite amongst this trio of men. And as such, they assigned him a cute little nickname. Pop quiz.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
What special name did the men give to the horse they fucked? A, Naughty Boy. B, Johnny Rocket. C, Magic Stick. D, Big Dick. What you got for me, Mark?
I'm going to go C.
Magic Stick.
Magic Stick.
All right, Tank.
I just feel like the funniest outcome would be if they called him Johnny Rocket.
No, you guys are both wrong.
Both wrong.
Big Dick.
Big Dick.
Oh,
That's
come
right.
on. Of course, a truck driver has no creativity.
This guy's got a big dick. Let's call him, I don't know.
Yeah.
Big
Dick.
Yeah.
So after James Tate was finished getting railed by Big Dick, it was Kenneth's turn. Now, you may be wondering how the men were consistently able to arouse the horse enough for him to engage in anal penetration all night long with various human beings.
Yeah, Viagra.
So the men trained the horses involved in their orgy sex ring to penetrate them by stripping, applying a horse breeding pheromone, and bending over.
That's mostly the pheromone, probably.
It's that easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about that? Did they feed it a sugar cube after? After they let it fuck it? Or do they do the weird carrot in the mouth where they feed it with their mouth?
That's so romantic.
Yeah.
I like that. And as we already know from the top of this episode, Kenneth tragically died during his last encounter with Big Dick.
Yeah, why was James able to take it and Kenneth was not?
Good question.
I don't know.
Kenneth had a short male vulva or whatever. I don't know what the
His
words I
butthole
just said
was
were.
not built the same way as James. It's not
I'm
made
built
of
different.
not made of strong stuff.
Is
Yeah.
it shooting a load in there as well?
Oh, Jesus, man.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
One of the names that I was going to suggest for the horse was Super Soaker, if that answers that question.
That's good.
Or
So-
Semen Demon.
Or Semen
Hey,
Demon.
I like it.
Rears
Work it
its
in.
Ugly head once again. So let's delve into the investigation that unfolded after Kenneth Pinion's death and the legal ramifications that it had upon the great state of Washington. So law enforcement utilized CCTV footage from the hospital that captured James Tate's license plate number after he dropped Kenneth off at the hospital the night he died. And this breakthrough led law enforcement to a rural farm in the Enumclaw area, which gained a reputation in the zoophile chat rooms as a hot spot for engaging in sexual acts with animals.
Like the park and ride.
Yes, or the Comac Motor Inn,
Yeah.
where we grew up. There was like this seedy motel, which is still there.
Yeah.
And everybody went there to fuck.
Oh,
Everyone.
really?
So gross.
It's on Jericho Turnpike, which is a main road. And you pull out
Next
and
to
you're
White Castle.
you're just exposed to hundreds of cars driving by. I never went there. I don't know how people went there and pulled out with like any kind of dignity
Yeah,
whatsoever.
yeah. Is it hookers or is it just couples?
It's
I
high
have
school
no idea.
kids. It's
Oh, okay.
everything.
Wow.
It's STD land over there. It's nasty.
Comac motorin.
Comac motor. It's still
Famous.
there.
Yeah,
All
of course it is. They're doing horse stuff now.
They're
Gotta
cleaning up.
adapt.
So while searching the farm, investigators discovered and confiscated approximately 100 VHS tapes and DVDs
Oh my
containing
God.
hours of video footage depicting men involved in bestiality. And among these recordings was a video capturing Kenneth Pinion taking it up the ass by Big Dick on the night of his tragic
The
death.
one that did him in?
Yeah.
Wow. Good
Yeah.
luck for them to be able to capture that. Or bad luck, I guess.
They
Yeah.
had to like sift through hundreds of hours.
Oh my God.
Yeah, can you
Who
imagine?
did that?
Wow.
I don't know, man.
Imagine
But I
being a
bet that
cop.
person's not doing okay today.
Becoming
No.
a cop because you want to like help people and protect and serve and all that. And they're like, Jimenez, you're on fucking dick duty today. You're going to watch
Yeah.
100 hours of men getting railed by horses.
Yeah.
You're back in the saddle.
Desk jockey. Yeah.
Test jockey. Now, here's the question. What is the eulogy like?
Ah,
You know, do they mention this in the eulogy? Because it's public knowledge, obviously.
it is.
Unum Claw.
Enum
Yeah.
Claw.
Enum Claw.
Yeah, if I were giving the eulogy, I'd probably focus on the tragedy of the motorcycle accident and
Oh,
the fact
yeah.
that he was his back was against the wall. He wanted to enjoy sex, man.
Well, he was ride or die.
Yeah.
All right.
You're a rough rider.
Or both, as it were. I mean, we're poking fun, but I feel bad. I feel bad that he was in that situation.
The
But I
horse was
tend to
poking
feel
too.
bad.
Yes, listen.
I'm too empathetic on a good day. So-
Perhaps if you have, listen, I have not had a motorcycle accident where I lost sexual pleasure. But I imagine there may be some spiritual work to do before you go finding horses to
Yeah.
rape you.
I would agree.
you
I would
know?
agree with that. So
Or maybe
after
just get really into knitting. I don't know, like something.
Something.
knitting,
Sudoku.
doesn't pack the same punch, man.
Pokemon, something.
Yeah.
Pokemon.
Gotta catch them all. Gotta fuck them all.
So after Kenneth's death, law enforcement began searching for a means to hold the other zoophiles accountable, which brought the legality of bestiality into question in Washington state. The prosecutor's office sought to press charges of animal abuse against James Tate. However, despite the hours of videotapes that they sifted through, the police were not able to find any evidence of animal mistreatment. And at the time of Kenneth's death, there was no specific law prohibiting consensual and non-harmful sexual activities involving animals.
Yeah, they were probably like, why would we make a law about this? Who's gonna?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
it gets interesting. So
Yeah.
so prosecutors could only proceed with charging James Tate with trespassing since he had like trespassed on a random farm that night to access Big Dick.
Mhm.
So one question that I had while researching this case was how the actual fuck in the year 2005
Yeah.
was bestiality not prohibited in Washington state? Well, that's because it has to do with the justice system basically taking one step forward with respect to decriminalizing consensual sexual acts amongst humans, and simultaneously in doing that, taking a step backward in terms of decriminalizing bestiality. And here's what I mean. In the 1970s, many statutes that criminalized certain consensual sexual acts like oral sex and anal sex between consenting adults in various U.S. states were repealed, which means that they were revoked or they were withdrawn.
Mhm.
And on July 1st, 1976, in the state of Washington, the following law was repealed, meaning that prior to that date, this was the law.
Mhm.
Every person who shall carnally know in any manner any animal or bird, I don't know why there's a distinction there
Yeah.
personally, but, or who shall carnally know any male or female person by the anus or with the mouth or tongue, or who shall voluntarily submit to such knowledge, or who shall attempt sexual intercourse with a dead body shall be guilty of sodomy.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
human oral and anal sex, consensual amongst adults, was tethered to bestiality and necrophilia.
Same thing.
Whoa. Yeah. Well, what about vaginal?
What about... No, that's fine. That was always fine.
Oh.
I remember learning about sodomy laws whenever, I got really into sodomy. And
Confession.
no, I remember hearing about it and what is it? And it was like, you can't, in certain laws, in certain states where sodomy is illegal, like you can't finger a girl. 'Cause
Right.
It's not sex.
Right. It's
against the law.
So sex is only allowed if it results in the procreation or the attempt to procreate.
And it can't be gay.
I mean,
Right.
For the love of God.
Well,
not in Washington.
Yeah. It makes you wonder if these guys, they're all getting plowed in the ass, but they're all hanging out and drinking probably and filming.
Yeah.
Wouldn't one of them go, hey, Bob, you want to fuck me?
Yeah.
But it's only the animals.
it's actually everybody fucking everybody.
Oh, it
All
is.
the men did engage in penetration with each other.
Got it.
As well as with the animals.
Okay,
So it's just a big fuck fest.
Yeah.
From a motorcycle accident.
Right. But like you said, Tank, there's likely stuff beneath the surface.
Yeah.
But what I found interesting is a lot of times in the cases that we cover on Psychopedia with the most depraved killers you can possibly imagine, you can point to something in their past that kind of explains why they turned out the way they did. And we always say this, we don't accept it and we don't excuse it and we don't forgive it, but we can understand it.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, what I find fascinating about Kenneth Pinion is looking at his childhood. From what I could find, there really isn't anything that we can point at to say, oh, that happened. Like he suffered an unimaginable amount of child abuse or a tumultuous upbringing. Nothing like that pops up in his history.
Yeah, well, sometimes these accidents can hit your head funny, and that'll do it.
That's a good point. That's a great point, Mark.
If it affected his sexual organs, maybe it affected his brain too.
Right.
Right. That's an excellent point. And I hadn't thought of that. So good job.
Hey, thank you.
What a genius.
He's so smart.
I was hit on the head as a child, and now I'm attracted to.
Explains a lot.
Yeah.
So an effect of that repeal was that bestiality and necrophilia became legal in the state of Washington.
Decriminalized.
No.
Legal.
An effect of repealing that law that had all of those things wrapped up in one in an effort to make oral sex and anal sex legal. They revoked it. They repealed it. But those laws were binded. They were tethered to each other. So in doing that, they also legalized bestiality and necrophilia. So it's like a loophole.
So stupid.
Got it.
They couldn't have fucking carved that out.
Right.
It's wild. It's wild. So James Tate could not be held legally accountable for operating a horse sex ring. All right. Instead, as I mentioned, he was charged with trespassing in the first degree. The third man present at the time of Kenneth's death was not charged with anything since he wasn't visible on the camera and they couldn't point to him in any real way.
Imagine they're in court and they're like, we're charging him with trespassing. But he was fucking trespassing hard. I can't even explain to you
there were
to the
massive
degree
violations
he
going
was
on.
trespassing.
Yeah. On November 29th, 2005, James Tate entered an Alford plea.
Oh.
Do you remember what that is from our Shelley Notek case?
Yep, Shelley Nonek.
Yep. Do you remember what an Alford plea is?
It's when you plead guilty, but maintain your innocence so you can
yes.
I'm super smart.
I'm not surprised because you are super smart, but yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, what is it?
Let's get into that.
So you know how in certain let's say movies or whatever, people don't want to they don't want to plead guilty because then it makes them appear guilty to the public. You can plead guilty to get the reduced sentence, but you still maintain your
innocence.
Air of innocence.
Oh, got it.
That's exactly what it is. So it's when they plead guilty, but they don't have to actually admit guilt.
Gotcha.
Right? It also allows you to circumvent a trial. So that's why the prosecutors are into that type of a plea and a state, because it doesn't cost anything or as much.
Okay.
And then the person gets to maintain their innocence, but be like, you know what, there's a lot of evidence that likely would convict me. So let's just skip the shenanigans. I'll take a guilty plea, but for the record, I'm innocent.
Got it.
It's when people order steak medium rare plus, which is in between medium rare and medium. It's
literally
not a
have
thing.
never heard of that in my
You
life.
haven't?
I haven't either.
I'm a restaurant worker.
Right.
Well, it's a new thing. People will say medium rare and medium are not separate. They're two. I have to have it in between.
Right.
I can't have it one or the other.
It's like LGBTQ plus AI
minus
divided by is
exactly.
I don't know. I can't keep up. But there's a plus in it now.
Yeah.
That's my point.
So the judge in the case gave James Tate a suspended 1-year sentence, a $300 fine, 1 day of community service, and ordered him never to visit the farm again.
The community service was at a petting zoo, though. So wait, suspended means he didn't have to serve it, right?
Right.
Okay.
Wow, he got off easy.
He sure
Yeah.
did.
So did the horse.
Yeah.
So after Kenneth's death, a very, very graphic video circulated on the internet showing him and other men engaging in receptive anal intercourse with animals.
I think I saw that.
Yeah, you might have. The video was nicknamed Mr. Hands and Two Guys, One Horse.
Ah.
And it was apparently intended really to like sexually gratify the viewer. But understandably, it instead caused a public uproar, outrage, and instantly became one of the internet's first viral reaction videos.
Whoa.
So it was like hot to trot. So to speak.
Yeah.
Pun
A lot of
intended.
horse puns.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
so easy. The case received an unprecedented level of media attention when it broke, capturing the public's fascination and making headlines. In fact, the article written in the Seattle Times covering this case remains their top-selling article to this day.
Wow.
Wild, right? So with national eyes now on the topic of interspecies funny business, Washington State Senator Pam Roach, which I found funny that her last name is Roach,
Oh, yeah.
crafted a bill to ban bestiality in Washington State. And on February 11th, 2006, Senate Bill 6417 officially made bestiality a Class C felony, making the act punishable by up to 5 years in prison, a $10,000 fine, and that's it.
I want to know, it's got to be public record. Some politicians voted against that.
You'll be happy to know in this state, not one senator voted against the bill. It had a 36-0.
Well, that, yeah, I mean.
But in the state of Wyoming, I researched, there was one, which we're going to go into here. There was one politician who voted against making it illegal.
I can't fuck a horse
Yeah.
on a Saturday night. Come on.
The bill also prohibits videotaping a person engaging in sexual activity or contact with an animal that is either alive or dead.
Smart.
Oh.
Got to cover all the bases for the freaks.
Absolutely. So in the U.S., at the time and date of this recording, bestiality is still legal in 4 states.
Whoa.
Pop quiz.
Come on, New York.
2 of the states are Wyoming, as I mentioned, right?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't really mention it, but we just mentioned Wyoming a little bit, and West Virginia.
Okay. Sounds about right.
Quiz. Tank was right. In addition to Wyoming and West Virginia, which other 2 states have not criminalized bestiality? A, New Mexico and Hawaii. B, North Dakota and Utah. C, Alaska and Nebraska.
Oh, big C for me.
Big C for Mark.
I'm going to go A.
Hawaii.
Yeah.
It's A.
Yeah.
Whoa.
New Mexico and Hawaii, as well as Wyoming and West Virginia.
New Mexico's not giving it up, and Hawaii's just slow on the bureaucratic stuff, I think. They'll get to it.
Interesting.
Now, regardless of the fact that bestiality is criminalized almost everywhere in the U.S., only 31.9% of bestiality-related arrests result in prosecution. So there you have it.
It's like, get out of here.
Yeah.
Right.
Come on.
The seriousness of the crime varies in the other 46 states. And I mean, it's obviously astounding that not all of our, nation states criminalize that behavior. But I think that has a lot to do with what is considered animal abuse. All right. I consider bestiality animal abuse because I like animals more than I like people.
But some animals might want to get laid.
You think with a human?
Yeah.
My dog humps my wife's leg 5 to 6 times a day.
There
And
you
he's
go.
10. He can barely walk, but he gets.
He's like a dirty old man.
Yeah, he
Tyler.
is. He's
It's a good
gross.
point. I wonder if a lot of people don't get caught because when the cops show up, they just jump on the horse and ride away.
They reverse positions.
Yeah.
But it's not even just about the violation against the animal. Bestiality is documented to being a precursor to other serious offenses,
Yeah.
including sexual abuse of children, distribution of child abuse images, interpersonal violence, and other forms of animal cruelty. So establishing that the sexual assault of an animal is indeed a crime would potentially allow law enforcement to better identify potentially dangerous and violent sexual predators in general.
Makes sense.
Right. Now, in terms of James Tate, his extracurricular behavior did not end with the death of his friend or the new law prohibiting sex with animals in the state of Washington, because he just relocated to a place where it was legal at the time, which was Tennessee.
It is like a priest. They just shift around. Wow.
Exactly right. You just move him around. He took up residence on a farm in Tennessee that housed various animals, including horses, pigs, goats, and dogs.
Oh, he was like
Ooh.
Ace Ventura. He was like in his glory.
I understand them.
Yeah.
Pet detective.
But in 2007, Tennessee criminalized bestiality.
Aha.
So in 2009, when investigators received an anonymous call or an email containing a photograph of a man engaging in sexual acts with a Shetland pony on a farm, legal action was taken again.
Was it James again?
It was James again.
Oh.
Come on, dude.
Yeah.
He's back in the saddle.
Yes. And at this point, he faced 3 felony animal cruelty charges, having been involved in sexual acts with a stud horse over a period of several months.
I was just about to ask what happened to the other guy, Kenneth Pinion, but he's dead.
Yeah, you do that
not-
on
I
these
know.
cases a lot. At the
Yeah.
end of it, he'll be like, what happened?
There's a lot of information, dude.
Yeah, and I assume the wife is out of the picture at this point.
Oh, I mean, they were, you're talking about, well,
Oh.
James, yeah, no, you're thinking of Kenneth. He was married and then divorced before all of this happened.
Got it.
Right. So there's 2 ways that we can look at zoophiles. They are lonely and damaged human beings with sexual urges that they likely wish they didn't have. Choice number 1. Or number 2, they are animal abusing perverts,
Is this
right?
a pop quiz?
No. So the risk factors associated with becoming a zoophile are minimal physical and social access to like a larger community, history of childhood sexual abuse, exposure to porn containing bestiality, substance abuse, psychological traits like low self-esteem or infantile social behavior, living in rural areas, being male, low levels of education, and low social attachment. I feel like you guys might be able to check a lot of things off that
Yeah,
list.
definitely got the
I'm a
low
little worried.
self-esteem and the infantile.
If you move to a farm, I'll alert the authorities.
Please do.
Yeah.
My dad always said, what are you raising a barn? All right.
I wish.
In recent psychiatric literature, specifically a study published in the Indian Journal of Community Medicine, it's been revealed that individuals involved in bestiality generally exhibit lower levels of education, social control, and social attachment. But interestingly, none of that applied to Kenneth, which is why I really think your point is well taken about how maybe he suffered a deeper brain injury aside from like losing his ability to feel.
Yeah.
Because otherwise he just bucked the system
Well,
altogether.
I got to tell you, I don't know if this is speaking out of school, but I horseback rode with the wife, and I think she was getting a little turned on because the
Rhythmic, like grinding.
yes,
yeah.
it's right on the genitalia lady part.
It is. It is. I'm not going to say I get it, but I get it.
All right, I appreciate
Is she a
that.
zoo?
I don't know, but we play horseshoes a lot.
Listen to this episode with her and find out.
Yeah.
She's
Just
like,
bring some champagne when you
Yeah.
listen.
press pause. I can't take it anymore.
All right.
So we're going to leave off here with a final pop quiz.
Okay.
What are the 2 most popular animals that people engage in bestiality with?
Okay.
A, sheep and pigs.
Mm.
B, horses and dogs.
Mm.
C, cows and goats. D, gerbils and ferrets.
Oh,
Ooh,
that's a
small dick.
curveball in there.
Or
No, the
is
gerbils
it?
go up the butt, dude.
Oh,
And then they
right. Good
scratch
point.
their way out, and it's very
Oh, my
pleasurable,
God.
apparently.
I feel like this is a trick question. Like the most popular flavor in the world is. Do you guys know what it is?
Flavor of what?
Flavor in general. Flavor in.
Strawberry?
What's your choice?
Flavor anything?
Yeah.
Salt?
No. Pistachio.
Is it?
Yeah.
What? I
Did
even
you
like
not hear me
pistachio.
last night say that I wanted to get pistachio gelato?
I did not hear you say that.
Well,
but
I did, and nobody took me
it's-
up on that. So.
Yeah, it's the number 1 flavor in the world, much like the number 1 sport in the world is not football or basketball, it's soccer. Like there's
Right.
a whole
Soccer I knew, but
there's a
yeah.
whole world out there. I feel like the sheep and pigs is the pistachio of bestiality.
Is it?
Well, I
it's
don't
your
know.
flavor? That's your choice?
Not my choice. I'm saying the world at large.
I
Like
just
there's
meant, is that your choice for the pop quiz?
yes, okay, good. Thank you for clearing that up. If I were to choose pigs and sheep,
Okay.
that's my choice.
Mark?
I've heard the pig vagina is the closest to the human vagina.
Where'd you hear that?
Interesting.
I'm just kidding.
It's on my Tinder bio. But
Looking for a pig vagina.
yeah, I fucked a few pigs in my day.
Hey.
But wait a minute. So what were the other 2? We got pig and sheep. That's one.
Horses and dogs,
Horse
cows
and
and goats,
dogs.
gerbils and ferrets.
Cows and goats. Goat's pretty popular, I heard. But I'm going to go with the pig.
Sheep
You're
and
both
pig.
wrong.
Oh,
horses and dogs.
Jeez.
We
just
just
learned about
listened to a whole
horses.
case
I
about a
know,
guy
you
fucking
fucking
horses.
idiots.
And then dogs are right there. I think dogs are the most convenient.
Dogs are the most common animal involved in first contact, accounting for approximately 63% of the
Whoa.
bestiality
Oh, my
cases.
goodness.
Horses come in second at 17%. By the way, male animals seem to be the heavily favored gender of animals with which to fornicate.
Interesting.
Yep. And I just wanted to present you each with a little something for making it through this horrendously gross episode.
She brought gifts.
What do you got, a dog bone?
It's a cast of a horse dong.
Yeah.
Let's see what we have here.
Okay, ready? It is
Oh my God.
fun. A handy horse.
a handy horse.
Throw it.
And in case you're not into
Lube?
puppets, you're going to get a horse sucker.
Ooh, I'll give the horse head. Look at that. Thank you. This is
Yes.
fun.
I'm going to eat this
And
lollipop with
thank
these.
you, Mark, for sticking it out
Oh,
with
it was-
this really lovely topic I brought to you today.
I
Fun
couldn't
horsing
wait.
around.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Sorry.
These are
The
really
last one.
funny. Where did you get these? Or you just have a stockpile of them?
I have a stockpile, all
Yeah.
farm animals.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
My
so
pleasure.
Mark, I mean, a case about a guy who got fucked to death by a horse, but it was if he was a zoophile and an auto assassinophile,
Mm-hmm.
he would be in his fucking glory.
Yeah.
This guy.
Well, then he would have met his ultimate goal.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Being killed and being
By a
fucked
horse.
by a horse.
There you go. Pretty
Yeah.
good.
You into this kind of stuff?
I think this is fascinating, and I wonder if this has anything to do with the movie Horse
Oh.
about the guy who gets fucked to death by a horse, and it's all on camera.
Is that a movie?
That's a documentary. Give it a goog.
Oh, 100%. It must be.
It's called
I know
Horse.
that Zoo is the documentary about this case, but Horse.
What did you say he posted the other day about goats or something?
You had something that you posted that I
That's
saw.
right. I was just in New Zealand, and they're known for fucking animals there.
Yeah.
And I said, anybody here fucking animal? And one guy goes, I have a farm and I fuck goats all the time. And I said, what does that feel like? And he goes, it feels kind of like a deer.
Oh.
Which I thought was crazy that he just went with the other animal. Like I would know what a deer fucking is like.
Did
So
that
we had a
really
good time.
happen?
I swear to God.
Wait, so
my
that was like a
God.
crowd work segment
Yeah.
of your, oh my God.
He totally owned up to it.
Kind of feels like a deer. Well, now
well,
I'm
you know
double
what?
lost.
What are the laws in New Zealand?
I guess it's pretty open because he was talking in front of 1,000 people. And I said, does it kick? And he goes, I wear boots.
What?
A lot of farms out there in New Zealand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of free time.
Wow.
Open range.
Not
Yeah.
that everyone in New Zealand is fucking goats. Let's
well, the
just
other
be
fuck
clear.
goats are there until Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
just those two. That's
That's
it.
about it.
That's how you can define New Zealand.
Well, they don't
All
have fentanyl there, so they got to do something.
Oh, they don't.
No. They're-
Are they better off? I mean, are
Probably.
Yeah.
The
I mean,
goats, too, are having a good time, it seems.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Well, listen, Mark, Normand, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having
Thank
me.
you
No
so
pun
much.
intended, horsey guy.
Hey.
I hope you had a good time. I hope the listeners had a good time.
This was
I had
fun
a-
and informative.
I had a great time. A lot of
Excellent.
information, a lot to think about.
Yes.
You can chew on it on
as
your way
Billy
home.
Ray Cyrus would say, much to think about.
Such wise words.
Yeah,
Did he
much,
say that?
Yeah, he posted some weird image of himself, like when Miley Cyrus was going through the whole thing, and it was like an old man selfie, and the caption was just much to think about. It became a meme of its own because it's like, dude,
You would
stay
know.
off. Yeah, it was like 2011 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, if you are still listening right now, as we like to say, thank you, because I can't imagine getting through an entire episode of this kind of stuff.
I can.
Yeah.
No, I
this is
know, but like,
interesting.
what is your mental state? I feel like if you made it,
Fascinating.
I feel like if you made it through this case, you deserve a little bit of recognition.
100%
is all
total
I'm saying.
gratitude as always. We love our listeners and we really appreciate their attention span.
Yeah.
But I hope we didn't make it difficult for you to keep up because this shit is so interesting.
No, the
Yeah.
dynamic storytelling and the Winston Churchill level of writing
There it is. I
Lends
was
itself
fishing for that compliment.
to be able to listen to it, but it's still a lot.
It's a lot. It is a lot.
So if you're here, thank you. If you're here, leave a rating or a review or subscribe or share with somebody. But maybe this is not the episode to tell people to listen to. I don't know. You want to go broadcasting around that you're listening
It is
to.
absolutely the episode to tell people to
It might
listen
be
to.
the
We have Mark
episode.
Normand on here.
I agree. Go listen. This is fun. Thank you for having me.
Thanks
really
for coming.
such an honor to have you here.
Oh,
Thank you.
come on.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye, everyone.
Appreciate it. Handy horse.